question, Jim Burke, why hasn't there been a meeting with 34th Street Open Streets?
Right, there's been 14 meetings in many different languages, and they were spread out over 3 years. So that's not true. You're spreading lies, probably. If you don't,
But what about the
I'm
seniors,
going to ask
Jim?
the police to come right over here.
Go ahead, ask the police. Go ahead.
So guys, this is what happened today. Jim Burke, who I've known, I've eaten with Nulla Authority, Jim Burke, during COVID-19, during the pandemic, when he was sick, I called him, he called my house. We were very good friends. And guys, today I'm very, very sad. I needed to speak up today. Many of the residents of Jackson Heights had asked me to come to this event because they had to work. And as you all know, Passengers United, we've done work in Jackson Heights. When the Q49 bus was being eliminated, you all know that I spoke up for the Q49. We held a rally at the governor's office. We even had a press conference where Jim Burke and Nulla were standing beside me with the microphone. And Nulla was running for office at the time, and there's a lot of stuff that was going on. All I'm going to say is I'm very disappointed with what happened today. So guys, those of you who have been following and involved in the Queen's Bus redesign, I have something to say to all of you, and this is what I have to say to you. Be very careful of Jim Burke, and might as well just pull Betsy's picture. I can't get Betsy's picture up, but you all know Betsy Plum from Riders Alliance. I'm urging all of you, make sure when the final draft of the Queen's Bus redesign comes out, and if any of your routes have been severely eliminated or rechanged, or if you have to take 3 buses, file a lawsuit against the MTA and also go after Riders Alliance and all these other groups. Do not let them come in the community and dictate our bus service. I'm upset with Jim Burke because when they were going through the bus crisis in Jackson Heights in March 2020, before the pandemic, we were there. Passengers United came, we volunteered, we spoke up for residents in Jackson Heights, and we did everything we could. Now, a few months ago, when the latest draft came out of the Queen's Bus redesign, Jim Burke didn't want to help us. And the response I got from Jim Burke and from Mrs. Mercado, Louis Mercado, who runs the Queen's Bus Facebook page, was, oh, you guys have to do your own thing. We cannot help you. You guys have to figure it out. And stuff like that was said to us. And I was wondering at the time what was going on. I noticed a lot of our Facebook posts were not getting posted. So it turns out Jim Burke, who's a member of Riders Alliance, is a moderator or was a moderator on the Queen's Bus Facebook redesign page. I understand he's still a moderator. So guys, those of you who follow us at Passengers United, I need you all. This is a red alert. Jim Burke has always been with Riders Alliance, and he's the Queen's Deputy Director for Transportation Alternatives. There's another lady, her name is Laura Shepard, and it's Jim Burke. Both of them run Transportation Alternatives for Queens, and they host all the meetings and stuff. So guys, there's no respect. And even when I was working with Jim Burke, during when Nulla was running for office, this was like 2 or 3 years ago, when Passengers United was just growing and getting started. Jim Burke, Jim claims everyone has issues, and he's been calling people a racist and this and that. Jim has issues. Jim looks down on people in the Indian community. I'm just going to say that. The way he treated Joy Chowdhury, the way he talked down to me, the way Nulla talked down to me. I remember Nulla screamed at me during her campaign. One day she said something to me and just screamed at me. Listen, all these people and what's going on in Jackson Heights right now is nuts. The way the 34th Avenue co-ops are being treated and the people who live in those buildings. The reason why I had to come out today and say something to Jim Burke is because people have come up to me and said, Charlton, why did you work with Jim Burke and Nulla and you're friends with them, and look what they're doing to our seniors, and look what they're doing to people who are sick and homebound and who need, ambulances, or they have to go for dialysis. Many of them cannot do that because they're having hardships. The accessoride cars are not allowed to park on 34th Avenue. And I did a tour of 34th Avenue and I saw it for myself. And I said, oh my God, the fire trucks can get through. In fact, a few days ago in another video, which was posted by, I believe, the people who run the Jackson Heights Co-op Alliance, it's Mr. Ricardo and them. They had posted a video of their meeting, and what happened was the fire department, another fire department, I'm sorry, the police department actually came, a police officer spoke there from the 115th precinct, and he said that the police were having a hard time getting their patrol cars, their RMPs, down the block. And the sanitation department came out and said they were having problems picking up garbage. So that's just some of the problems. But I know Talia has spoken to me. So many people have come up to me and said, Charlton, you have to address this. So, all I'm saying is now I'm realizing what's going on in the community. Jim Burke, Nulla, all of them are out of control. They have lost their minds. That's all I'm going to say, guys. And based on what happened today, Jim is someone who, during COVID-19, when we had the crisis, and he was very sick. Jim was really badly sick during COVID. I called him. I remember I checked in to see how he was doing. Jim Burke checked in to see how we were doing. We're good friends, and it's sad that it's come to this. Money is the evil of all evils, and money can make or break people. And I know this is about money. Guys, 34th Street open streets is worth $87 million. That's what the city is pumping into these open streets. And I couldn't believe when I heard that figure. So obviously there's political interest here, and the whole thing with Jessica Gonzalez Rojas and all of them coming together, guys, I don't know. All I can tell you is Nola couldn't stand her. In fact, all the people that were associated with Nola had issues with her. Now, all of a sudden, they're all together at a press conference. Guys, like I said, money creates strange bedfellows. And I hate to say it, it's like people change. And it's obvious that Riders Alliance is trying to infiltrate the Queen's Bus redesign, which they already have. They put bus ads. So they're trying to diminish the voice of us at Passengers United and what we had to say. In fact, I was upset with Jim Burke and Nulla because Passengers United was not invited to speak at today's event. How could you not invite us? Like when we were trying to save the Q49 bus 2 years ago and all the buses in the Jackson Heights, I didn't see Riders Alliance there. They didn't do a damn thing. Nulla actually did more work than Riders Alliance did. And she ran that pretty much by herself. We came in and we helped towards the end. We did the press conference at the governor's office. We spoke up. I was there. We did press conferences. I remember we did a couple of events there. I did not see Riders Alliance there. In fact, Betsy had just been hired at that point. So Betsy had come in, but I remember I got very upset with Jim Burke when he rode the bus with Riders Alliance after the fact, a few weeks later in March of 2020, and Riders Alliance and the MTA management was there, and I remember they rode the Q49 saying that certain cuts had to be made, which is crap. And I asked Jim Burke, I said, well, why would you ride with Riders Alliance? And the excuse he gave me was, oh, I'm with Transportation Alternatives, and, we all have to ride together, and it didn't mean anything. And, Jim was making excuses out of his mouth. Guys, I hate to say this, and I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but Jim Burke is a fraud. I hate to say this. I've been through a lot with Jim. He's good. He was good people. But I think, after all the complaints we've gotten about our senior citizens not being able to get to their doctor's appointments, people are telling me that they're having hardships. And what if there's a fire on 34th Avenue? I mean, what's going to happen? Even the fire trucks. I've seen videos of fire trucks not being able to access the block. This is a problem, guys. This is a problem. I mean, they're not being able to get down the block. They're being stuck. And now with these concrete dividers, You have to move them. You can't even move the concrete dividers. I'm sorry. You would have to literally back the truck up, pull the truck in. So, guys, I just feel bad for everyone in Jackson Heights and what you all are going through with 34th Open Streets. Now, guys, I don't want y'all to think that I'm against new things and we're against open streets. We're not saying that. But like what Mr. Ricardo, and the people at the Co-op Alliance have said is, if this plan is so good, as you say it is, right? Then tell us what we're seeing wrong. And in a way, he's right. All of them are right. So I agree with the residents because, one thing is at Passengers United, we have to be fair to everyone. And as an advocate, we need to be fair to everyone. And I understand Jim Burke and Nulla are very passionate about the open streets and they believe in this. And that's all good. But what I'm saying is, when you have serious emergencies and serious defects with this plan, as it seems, you work with the community and you make it right. I don't know what's going on the community board. It seems like this transportation alternatives and all these organizations have infiltrated the community board. That's how bad it is in Jackson Heights. I will tell you this, guys. If any of our bus routes are eliminated in the next draft of the bus redesign in the final draft, we are filing a lawsuit against the MTA and we are going to have rallies against Riders Alliance. I'm telling you now, guys, we are not going to sit here and be quiet and let our community suffer. It's not happening. It is not happening. I'm letting the warning go out now. We're not going through this. And Jim Burke and Nulla, they're not gonna ruin my reputation, okay? Because everyone knows that we were out there working and doing things. But now people are saying, well, you're friends with Jim Burke, you're friends with Nulla, and it's embarrassing. It puts us in a bad light too. So, obviously I have to hold Jim and Nulla to a higher standard, and the higher standard is, and you know what, Jim, and I know some of the people have said, oh, well, the co-ops don't want open streets. All they want to do is be able to park their cars on 34th Avenue. Okay, let's play devil's advocate. Maybe that's the case. Maybe, in some ways, maybe that is the case. But guess what? If someone wanted to build a park or like an open street right outside my house in Queens Village or outside my neighbor's house, it's the First Amendment right. You can say that you don't agree with that, and that's okay. That is your right. Because those people who have those buildings, who park their cars out there, that's their property. I mean, that's their building. Even though the street is public, I get that. They have a right to complain. We might not agree with them because maybe they have their car owners or whatever, but many people cannot use the bus or subway. Many people work late night jobs and they need the car. We have to respect people's choices. Everyone has choices. And so Jim and Nola have not gone about this the right way in reaching the community. You have to build bridges with people. You're going to get people, and I'm sure there's people who are like, I don't want open streets. And that's their opinion. But what I'm saying to Jim and Nola, you cannot just reject what people are saying and dismiss them, because that's what seems to be happening now. And Jim Burke and Nulla and all the other electeds, they're on this big power ego trip where they're just coming in the community and saying, this is the way it's gonna go, and this is what we're saying, and all those concerns you guys have about ambulances not being able to go down the street, fire trucks, and the police, you guys are making things up. You don't know what you're talking about. Because that's what I've been told by people associated with 34th Open Streets. I have a problem with that. And Jim and Nola, it's your responsibility to make these things right. I don't care if you're volunteers, that's fine. That's one thing. Supposedly, but you guys are managing 34th Street, 34th Avenue. So if it's a DOT issue, if it's a state issue, you guys, Jim and Nola, you guys have a responsibility to talk to those residents and you should have block captains, or you should have like marshals, And maybe some of the people in the 34th Street Co-op Association, y'all should be having weekly meetings with them, or y'all should have like walkie-talkies or radios or whatever, so that y'all are keeping tabs on daily alliances. But what I've been told is, and I've seen this for myself because I was down 34th Avenue the other day and I saw mopeds just speeding with no care in the world. They were just racing down the avenue. What happens if and people have been hit already by bikes over there. So that's a concern. So, I've seen many of the videos. I saw videos that Christopher Johnson did. I saw videos that other people did. So it's, a lot of people. You have about, I would say, in that video where they had that meeting, there was about 40 upset residents there. So, people have a right to complain. And I had to confront Jim and Nola today, and I had to say what needed to be said. I'm no longer going to be friends with them because I'm embarrassed. I've lost my respect for them, and it's just embarrassing. Why would you, Jim, now you're having events with the Riders Alliance? Like, come on, Jim. The community, you don't need Riders Alliance and Transportation Alternatives telling you guys how to run your neighborhood. You guys in your community, y'all know how to do this. The whole community, you have a very smart people there who they know how to get these things done right. Everything Betsy has touched has turned to crap. That's all I'm going to say. Look what happened with the baby stroller committee at the MTA. And look at what happened with that whole situation in the Bronx, where 3 people got arrested on a bus fighting. Oh yeah, Betsy was on the baby stroller committee at the MTA. That's going to be another video that I'm putting together, guys. But this whole thing is a mess. And I blame the elected officials too, because they play a role in this. Shame on them for siding with these groups. And it's all money. They're all getting money. Street SPAC is the worst thing to happen because Street SPAC controls a lot of these electeds. But I'm telling you now, guys, if my Q110 bus is eliminated in Queens Village, or the Q88 is eliminated going down Horace Harding, or any of the other routes are being eliminated, and we have to take 3 buses, believe in me, there will be, I'm telling you now, guys, there will be massive protest. Betsy will be exposed and exposed over. We're not playing, guys. And like I said today, I'm going to keep confronting them. Betsy was harassing me more than I was harassing Betsy. That is the fact. First of all, it's a city sidewalk. Number 2, their event was over. There were other people talking. I was asking Jim Burke a question, which is my legal right and my First Amendment right to ask him a question. But what did Jim Burke do? Jim Burke made an accusation that I was harassing Betsy. Really, you guys can watch the entire video and you guys can be the judge of this. But I'm going to keep fighting the fight. We need to keep fighting and speaking out. And when I mean fighting, I mean speaking up, confronting the corruption and all the stuff that's happening. And guys, supposedly 34th Street open streets, according to what I was told, is worth 87 million. I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's what we were told, and supposedly that's a scary thing. 87 million for open streets, guys, and now you have an organization called Open Plans, Transportation Alternatives, Riders Alliance, and Northern Boulevard Bus Rapid Transit Riders, which supposedly is being run by Jim Burke, I was told. Guys, Queens is a mess right now. And for those of you who live in Brooklyn and Manhattan, and even Staten Island for your local bus routes, guys, pay attention to what's happening in Queens. Because look at what happened in the Bronx. They screwed up all the bus routes in the Bronx. Like I said, everything Riders Alliance and Transportation Alternatives touches turns to shit. That's all I'm going to say, guys. So you can watch the video. And again, this is Passengers United. Thank you for joining.
When I say street you say now. Street plan? Now! Now! Thank you all so much.
I have a question for you. How come Passengers United was not invited to speak at this podium? We actually do all the community advocacy in this area.
Would you please
Wait.
interrupt our event?
Excuse me, please.
Carlton, the event is done.
No, excuse me. So guys, Passengers United does a lot of work. We actually do a lot of work none of these advocates.
I'm asking you to.
Please, don't even say anything to me. Don't even say anything to me. You're disgusting, Betsy. And Jim, I want to know something from you. Don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me. Please. Jim, I need to speak to you. Get out of my face, okay? Don't even say anything to me, okay? Jim, I want to ask you something. Why on 34th Street open streets have you created a danger where fire trucks and EMS ambulances cannot get through?
And that's not true. And DOT works very closely with both the police and the fire department on all street projects. That's not anybody here. That's a state and city level regulations that they have to follow. Volunteers volunteer. The city and the state set them, so it's untrue. So goodbye.
But Jim, wait a minute. Don't talk to me like that. Don't you dare disrespect me like that. How dare you disrespect me like that? So this is definitely racism at its finest. Look at this, guys. Look at this. All of you should be ashamed of yourself for not inviting advocates like Passengers United here. We actually do more advocacy, okay? We all know you're for sale and you're corrupt, okay, Betsy? But you know what? This is all gonna be exposed. Shame on you, Betsy. Shame on you, okay? Shame on you, and shame on you. Here's another one, transportation alternatives, destroying our community. Shame on you. Shame on all of you. Yeah, go ahead, record me, I don't care. Because you're gonna be exposed, Betsy. Don't worry, I have a video coming out about you. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. Sorry. No, Jim, we need to have this conversation.
Right now we're in the middle of it.
No, Jim, I supported you and Nulla for the election, and you know what? You and Nulla have ruined my reputation in the community.
For better buses.
No,
I
you're
think you
not.
agree with that.
No, you're not.
When you interrupt this,
You
you're
don't-
hurting the fight for better buses.
You're ruining the fight for better buses.
Oh, please, bullshit. I want to ask you a
Right now, we hear
question.
about
Jim
that,
Burke,
but no.
why
Right
hasn't
now-
there been a
right
meeting
now, we
with
hear about
34th
better
Street
buses.
open streets?
Right, there's been 14 meetings in many different languages, and they were spread out over 3 years. So that's not true. You're spreading lies, probably. If you don't,
But what about the
I'm going
seniors,
to ask
Jim?
the police to come right over here.
Go ahead, ask the police. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're asking you to
This guy.
Go ahead and ask the police. Go ahead and ask the police.
We're asking you to nicely leave our event.
No, I'm not gonna leave. Oh, you're gonna call the police on me, Jim? Go ahead, call the police on me, Jim.
You could ask him to step away from both him.
It's all on video. I never harassed her.
Yes, you are.
You know who I am.
I know.
Yeah.
Over here.
But it's not right. Now you see, they call the police on me. Oh, really,
I
Betsy?
was already here. So
No.
no one called her.
Well, she claims I
So once
I
again,
harassed.
now
I
you're-
never
now you're
harassed Jim
starting
Burke.
something for nothing. So just take a walk.
But I have something to say
That's
about
right.
open streets.
Go
The
over
people
there.
who live in this community
That's it.
have a right to say
That's
something.
fine, but you could do it from over there. From a
So
safe
you see,
distance.
Betsy gets special treatment for police, guys. This is how Betsy from Riders Alliance, who doesn't want any police in the subway to protect us when we're getting murdered, raped, and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Betsy can have the police, and Jim Burke can have the police called on me. Really nice,
Well,
guys.
the police wasn't called on you. We were here because we had to be here.
No, but she
All right,
did.
so I
But you
just
were
want you to
standing there.
understand.
She called the
I want
cops
you to
on me.
understand,
Right.
and whoever you're gonna send understand that We're always here for any sort of protest. No one has special privilege, all right? We're the NYPD. We come and help out everyone.
Right.
All right? So no one has special
You know who I am. I'm the
I know who
president
you
of
are.
Passengers
So that's what
United.
I'm saying.
This,
No one has
guys,
special-
but somebody we all need, and I support the police. I have nothing against NYPD. But what's going on here? We have a right. It's a city sidewalk. If I have a right to confront someone, I have the right to say something to them. I wasn't rude. I never pushed anyone. I never said I have a right to confront them. So this is what Transportation Alternatives does. And this is what these organizations do. It's a city sidewalk.
Yep.
You're saying I can't come here?
Well, I'm telling you, I'm stand right there. If
Look
I feel that you're being a nuisance to the public, I can tell you to stand right here.
come on.
Stand right there.
Why can I have a conversation with her? Betsy.
Because she doesn't want to have a conversation with you. That's why. So just stand right there. It's not hard.
So this is what's going on in Jackson Heights now. It seems like the police are, then they're complaining why they can't get down streets, guys. Y'all can't get down streets because of this idiocy here going on with these organizations, guys. Okay? These organizations are making everyone's life miserable. But again, you know, I know you. So me and you are gonna have a talk after this. But guys, look at this. Betsy has the police on me. So Betsy, what do you have to say with all the people who've been murdered? 4 murders, Betsy. That's what you have on your hands. Betsy makes $65,000 and does nothing. Nothing. So if I didn't know him, if I didn't know this police officer, this would have been a different situation, because I would have gone there and probably gotten arrested. But because I know him and he's good to me, I don't want to have a problem with him. Look at this, Jim Burke smiling.
I was a dinosaur for hours. You know how tired I am?
Jim, why did you call the police on me, Jim? Why did you say I was harassing? You made a false allegation, Jim.
Make it clear, he didn't call the police. We were already here.
Excuse me, he made an allegation that I was harassing her. I wasn't harassing her. Jim, you're gonna be sued, Jim. You're gonna be sued. I'm letting you know now, Jim. You're gonna be sued in civil court for defamation, Jim. You're gonna be sued. And you know what? I regret supporting you and Nulla. You are a complete sellout to the Jackson Heights community. A complete sellout. Nulla, of all people who I supported for election, and look at this, Nulla is now taking money from all these groups who didn't do anything for this community. Nulla, it's not right. I supported you in the election, Nulla, and now look what you're doing with 34th Street open streets. The ambulances cannot get through, our seniors cannot get through. I'm not supporting you ever again. This is what you get for supporting white people. I should have known better, guys. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's the damn truth. All right, and all these electeds here, look at them. Half of them don't even live in the community. Matter of fact, Jim Rockaway lives in Far Rockaway. So what the hell is he doing here? Harassing people for open streets. Sorry. So I don't know what's going on with the police, guys, but you know what? Y'all need to complain to the 115th precinct as well, because I understand they have a job to do, but we have a right to speak. Why don't you move me over there where I can be in the middle?
No.
It's not fair. You're moving me back here where I can't even see anything. That's not fair.
You can see pretty well.
It's not fair. But I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna complain because it's not right. We have a right to say something.
That's right. And you can say it right there.
So this is what's going on. And look at Betsy. She's smiling. Look at how embarrassing this is. Betsy, you're gonna be sued too, Betsy. Your days are numbered, Betsy. All right? So I know these 2 officers. I'm good with them.
Don't like have a specific person detailed to this section anymore. Keep us in mind. I will. Like I don't know, say who picture you want to send us. Even if you can't get somewhere, you know where to contact me now.
I got you.
How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Hi, nice to meet you. So we were not invited for this event, but I do want to say we attend all the MT board and committee meetings. I have yet to see Betsy at a board or committee meeting. She does nothing.
Who?
Betsy Plum from Riders Alliance.
I remember like 2 board meetings ago, you said to the board members, the vigilante action on the subways is coming.
I never said that.
You did. You did. I was watching.
Okay, I'll go back to that.
And they just ignored you. And the thing is, can we talk off the record? I'm not saying it's good or bad. I agree with you, it's coming.
All I can tell you is I've been at all these crime scenes. I support the NYPD. The PBA supports us. I mean, obviously he has a job to do. I get that. All I'm saying to you officers is y'all could have put us somewhere in the middle over there to give us a chance to speak. So guys, yeah, Riders Alliance is a fraud. 1, 2, 3, 4. Riders Alliance is a fraud. Transportation Alternatives is a fraud. And Jim Burke is a fraud. And guys, first of all, for organizations that don't support police anywhere in the subways or buses, why do they even have a detail? That's what I want to know. Why are they getting preferential treatment? If I had an event in the community on the subway, I would not even ask for the police because I don't need them. I can handle the situation well. I'm not saying these guys are good officers. They're not bad because I know them. They have to do their job. I get that. But take a look at this, guys. All of you need to vote Shaker out of office. There's an election coming in a year. Vote him out. I hate to say that, guys. I know we're not supposed to do that, but it is what it is. And look at Jim Burke. Look at this. Wearing a Riders Alliance shirt, shaking hands with the traitors. So guys, this is Passengers United. I think I've made my point and confronted everyone.